Storm Beryl is expected to strengthen before it makes landfall, and by this time tomorrow, we could be feeling tropical storm level winds in the Houston area. We have team coverage for you tonight from Houston and Galveston, but we begin with meteorologist Pat Kavlin, who just got the latest advisory on Beryl. Pat.
Thanks, Marcelino. So no big changes in the strength of the storm right now, at least by the wind speeds. 10 p.m. advisory. This just came off the press about 10 minutes ago. So still a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm. But we look down towards the end of this bar, towards the pressure. And if you're someone that really follows this carefully, you'll notice that value is lower than it was with the 7 p.m. and the 4 p.m. advisory. So even though this looks like a very anemic storm on satellite, that pressure gives us a clue as to what may be starting to happen with this system. There is an organized center of circulation, and notice in the last few frames this big burst of thunderstorm development on the north side of the system. All of that coupled with a pressure drop means that Beryl is trying to remain organized and strengthened, and we will likely see signs of that as we get into tomorrow morning. And for that reason, the National Hurricane Center maintaining that by this time tomorrow night, this is a Category 1 hurricane on approach to the Middle Texas coast. This is now expected to make landfall sometime before sunrise Monday morning as an 85 to 95 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane. From there, through the day on Monday, the storm makes some pretty good progress, passing just to the west of the city of Houston, and then eventually towards the middle of the week, it continues to race off towards the north and east, becoming just a mess of rain and clouds. Here's future track. I want to show this to you because this is very important. Even though the storm, the center of the storm, doesn't go right over the city of Houston, we are on the east side of a lopsided storm, which means a lot of torrential rainfall and a tornado threat, not just for Monday, but we also have a tornado threat getting into tomorrow. But it's really Monday that we are concerned with the potential for flooding rains here. This is the reason why we could see several hours of rain coming in on the east side of this storm before it lifts to the north as we get into Monday night and Tuesday. So as a result, brand new tropical storm warnings in effect for the entire city of Houston. That's all of Harris County, all areas along I-10 and points south under that tropical storm warning. That also includes Katy, Sugar Land, Richmond, Rosenberg, getting out into Wharton counties, and then a hurricane warning in effect for Matagorda County, where we expect to see the biggest impact. And then also at the coast, where they have upped the storm surge forecast for Galveston now, and Chambers County could see 3 to 5 feet of storm surge. That includes Galveston Bay and the Ship Channel, with 4 to 6 feet of storm surge for coastal Brazoria and Matagorda. Marcelino, a lot to unpack. We're going to have more on this coming up in the full forecast when I see you back here in 15 minutes.
Pat, thank you. We'll see you in a bit. Tonight, Galveston County has issued a voluntary evacuation notice for people who live in areas not protected by the seawall. KHOU 11's Julissa Garza is live on the island tonight with the message from officials there. Julissa.
Well, Marcelino, County officials here tell us they're anticipating widespread threats with wind, rain, and coastal flooding. Tonight, they're urging caution before Beryl makes landfall. Galveston Island filled with beachgoers this Saturday. Some locals, others on vacation like Heather Matheny.
I always love my time in Galveston. This is my second time here.
With Beryl expected to make landfall along the Texas Gulf Coast Monday, folks like Heather are on high alert.
It is a little unnerving, but I have faith that we'll be fine.
She's heading out Sunday before Beryl makes landfall. But folks who call the island home are preparing.
I am. I'm actually going to go to the mainland.
John and Patty Knight have lived in Galveston for about 16 years and say they've only ever evacuated for Hurricane Ike. Tonight, they, like many, are keeping a close eye on the forecast.
More concerned today than yesterday.
Meanwhile, leaders with the county are too.
There is no question we're going to feel something, which is different than the forecast 5 days ago.
Urging caution ahead of Monday.
We're going to have rip currents that are pretty significant. We're going to have flooding, coastal flooding, and potentially flooding from freshwater rain as well.
Now, with those flooding concerns, the county judge tells us those on Bolivar should be on high alert and that the ferry most likely will be shut down and water may rise over Highway 87. Live in Galveston tonight, Julissa Garza, KHOU 11 News.
Julissa, thank you. The Trinity River Authority says repairs to the Lake Livingston Dam will be complete by Monday. The dam spillway was damaged in recent rains and flooding. This video from yesterday shows crews on scene working on repairs. Tonight, officials are saying the dam will be able to handle larger amounts of water by Monday without its integrity being impacted. Tonight, several Texas counties have issued voluntary evacuation notices. That includes part of Brazoria County and also Matagorda County. And tonight, a voluntary evacuation notice has been issued for all of Calhoun County. Meteorologist Paul Mireles with our sister station KENS 5 is in Port Lavaca tonight.
Well, here in Port Lavaca, you can see on Lavaca Bay, there's not a whole lot going on. It's really quiet out here, and it has been a pretty quiet day. We did have a thunder shower that came through earlier and did gust up the winds a bit. The winds get up to maybe 30 miles an hour at one point, but it's very quiet now. And you wouldn't know that there is Beryl out there in the Gulf of Mexico. You know, and going through the day-to-day and talking to folks, it seems like everybody's just kind of waiting to see what is going to happen. I did ask a few businesses what they were going to do, and they said we will likely close early tomorrow. But so far, I think everybody's just wanting to see what is going to happen. And so we caught up with a couple of folks, and this is what they had to say.
In a way I am, in a way I'm not. It's one of those things that you really don't know until it gets here, and then you'll panic.
Is it really going to be in this area in Calhoun, or is it going to be more up the coast? We don't know.
So the urgency is just not there. I mean, by this time, let's say by Sunday night into Monday morning, we could be looking at hurricane, Cat 1, Cat 2 winds through here and a big storm surge. So folks may want to take this seriously, and hopefully they don't wait too long. All right, here in Port Lavaca, I'm Paul Mireles.
Those storm preps should be wrapped up by tomorrow. Today, people have been heading out to the hardware and grocery stores. Our Troy Kless joining us live tonight with the top items people are searching for. Troy.
Well, Marcelina, when we went to a Lowe's and Kroger on the southwest side of town earlier today, the generators and water, of course, were the two big things and the two things that were at the top of everybody's list. But of course, there are some other items that you should keep in mind.
On the shelves and off the floor, supplies for your needs during a storm. Karen Morrow says her home is ready as she watches the forecast for Beryl closely.
I just hope everything just don't get as aggressive as it was before.
In this storm, it's uncertain. Anything can happen.
Marquise Page with Lowe's says securing your home and any loose items around it is key.
I would say walk around your house making sure there's no in your doors or your locks, make sure those things are ready, those things are prepared. We want to make sure that your smoke alarms, they are prepared.
Not just preparing for your home, but for the people in it.
And here in Kroger, getting items like non-perishable foods will be great in the event that you lose power so you can still eat. It's likely the second most popular item on your grocery list after water.
We're just here to buy like water and pasta.
Amy Sablatura is curious what the local impacts could be after experiencing some of Houston's worst named storms in the past.
Just wondering how much street flooding and maybe flooding that we may have.
A looming storm is a reminder to check items off the supply list and check on vulnerable family or friends.
We've been through it before and you're just a little skeptical about it now. So I say, get with somebody that's not mind you being with them over this, because we've been through it so many times.
We talk about in and around your house what you can do to prepare your home. Well, one thing you can do tonight or again early Sunday is maybe fill up your bathtubs with water. In the event that you might lose water service, you can still have something to flush your toilets, again, in the event that you do lose that service as well. But again, the city of Houston, again, urging people to have also some supplies for at least 5 to 7 days to prepare for whatever Beryl will bring. Reporting live, Troy Kless, KHOU 11 News.
Good to see people getting ready. Troy, thanks so much.